Welcome back to the It's UATL podcast, your guide to Black culture in Atlanta. I'm Nedra Roan.
I'm Deasia Page.
And today we have the Dancehall Queen Spice talking about her new soft girl era. Plus, we'll tell you why we can't stop thinking about teen takeovers. But first, it's time for the rundown of Black culture news in ATL and beyond making headlines.
Yes, and we're going to start off with quite some sad news. Recently, rapper Offset, most known for being a part of Migos, was shot near a casino in Hollywood, Florida.
I mean, I have to say, I thought we were over the era of the shootings in casinos, but what happened?
That's a great question because police are still investigating the situation. It's not clear as of this recording where exactly Offset was shot or what events happened leading him to be shot. I do know he was hospitalized, but had non-life-threatening injuries. Police have arrested someone in connection with the shooting, although that person didn't have any shooting charges. He was just charged with disorderly conduct.
That's interesting.
Well, they say the police have said that they're still investigating the matter, but police said that the shooting started with a fight. So they're saying that this person that they've arrested started this fight. And this person in question is Bronx rapper Lil TJ.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've heard of him or...
No, I haven't. Tell me.
Okay, he's a popular drill rapper, known for his very emotive lyrics. He has that one song called Calling My Phone that kind of took off in 2021 or 2022 or something like that.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. And actually he has an album coming out on May 1st,
maybe.
Allegedly.
Right.
And it's interesting because as he was arrested for disorderly conduct and for a traffic violation, which is kind of random too. But as he posted mine, and as he was leaving the Broward County jail, reporters kind of hounded him, and he's shirtless, and they're asking him all these questions, and he's kind of sending all these threats to Offset, saying or they said they asked him, "Oh, did you harm Offset anywhere? Did you hit him or something?" He's like, "Man, I'll slap the SHIT out of Offset. He know not to, check me or whatever." So he's saying a lot of this inflammatory language.
Probably not what you should say to the cops.
Right. As you're leaving jail in connection with a shooting that's still under investigation.
Right. So, but they didn't charge him with any sort of shooting related.
No. Police said two people were detained at the scene. One of them, obviously, Lil TJ, and the other person, they released him. So they're still trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah.
Because did they really have anything if they didn't charge him with something more than disorderly conduct? Because that doesn't sound like a shooting.
Yeah. I mean,
that is disorderly conduct, I guess, but
yeah, they said that whatever,
attempted murder
whatever happened started with the fight, and we still don't know who shot Offset. And like I said, we don't know where Offset was shot, in his body, which is, I don't know why that hasn't quite been revealed yet, but when word got out of Lil TJ's inflammatory remarks against Offset, the Shade Room posted that, and in the comments, Offset replied, "You ain't bust none," and it's BUSS and none NUN. Mm-hmm. Kind of just saying, kind of going off with him via, comments.
Wow.
So stupid. Mind you, Lil TJ is 24 years old. Offset is 34 years old.
Right.
So,
is not.
There's that.
Wow. So did any other celebrities, did they comment or weigh in or anything like that?
I haven't seen much. What's been interesting is that since this news came out, a lot of people have been saying that, it's been alleged that Offset has some gambling issues. So people have been saying, "Oh, Offset owes me money." Allegedly, he owes Motor City Casino in Detroit some money too, according to TMZ.
So it could be a bookie that's after him.
Yeah, but it's been alleged for years now that he has a gambling problem. Quavo, his Migos group mate, posted a prayer emoji in his Instagram story shortly after the news broke out. Unsure if that was related to the shooting, but I'm pretty sure it probably was.
Right.
And it's kind of heartbreaking because this is the second time some sort of tragedy has struck Migos because Takeoff passed away 2022. Mm-hmm. That was my second or third day at the AJC, actually.
Right. Wow.
So it wasn't that long ago, and now here we are again.
Well, at least he's, he's able to talk about it.
glad he's still here, but I still have a lot of questions as to how did this
What
happen?
happened? Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll hear some more, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll
Maybe.
stay tuned to Deasia
Yes.
Page, who will have all the news on what's happened.
Yes. So enough about this Offset shooting, but what's next on the rundown?
Well,
Nedra?
Gordon Parks has a new exhibit called The South in Color, and this is taking place at Jackson Fine Art Gallery. It is pieces of the 1956 Life magazine photo essay that he did called The Restraints Open and Hidden. So there are several images, not several, it's more than several. It's probably like 40 or so images that we will see in this exhibit. And they really show there was a family in Mobile, Alabama, the Thornton family, that he photographed in the mid 1950s. And it shows all sorts of different scenes of people in the town, kind of, Black life in the town. And it really resonated at the time. Now, this exhibit did come to Atlanta once in 2015. It was called Segregation Story.
I was wondering.
Yeah, did you see that?
No.
No, you weren't here.
No, I don't think I was. No.
Right. So it was at the High Museum, and it was a subset of the photographs from the same set of images. But this is a different selection. It was curated by the photographer Dawood Bey, and he sort of reformatted them into square images, so they look a little bit different. And then they've added some additional images that were not in the first one. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. Are you familiar with Gordon Parks and his work?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think I know him more for like the Black exploitation stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to go to this exhibit. I've never been to Jackson Fine Art before.
The gallery, yeah.
Yeah, the gallery. I've never been there.
It's near Lenox Square.
Oh, okay. So not too far away from me.
Yeah, near you.
See, I still don't know. I'm still getting to know Miss Atlanta, honestly.
Yes. But no, it's interesting that you mentioned it because I don't think I knew for years that Gordon Parks was the director of Shaft. And what was the follow-up called? Shaft's Big Score. He did that. He was also the founding editorial director of Essence magazine. I'm not sure that people know that. From 1970 to 1973, he worked there. And he also was the first Black artist to produce and direct a major Hollywood film. And that was called The Learning Tree in 1969. So he was just a multi-dimensional artist. He was in so many different things, different genres, which I appreciate.
No, me too. No, I definitely want to go to this. Now, when is it again?
That's a good question. I also forgot to mention he was the first Black photographer for Life magazine. That's how people really kind of know him for that.
Yes.
But, so the exhibit is open April 2nd to June 13th.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I got some time.
Yes, you have time to check it out. The South in Color, April 2nd to June 13th at Jackson Fine Art Gallery.
Nice.
Yes.
Love it. Will you be?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. So, Gordon Parks has an attachment to Chicago as well. So this is one of the first places that he moved. And so he did a lot of photography there as well. So that's kind of my passion for him.
Love it. Love it.
And he did some shooting in Atlanta as well.
Okay, yeah, I was reading that as I was preparing for this.
Did you see? And so some of those images probably look familiar.
Yeah. And I know wasn't he born in Kansas or something?
Yes,
okay. Because I remember I don't know if there was an exhibit at my school, the University of Kansas, but I think I learned a little bit more about him in college. It was something. But yeah, I know he's from Kansas in some way. So yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be exciting. I'm glad that that's going to be here. And Gordon Parks is not the only famous person coming to Atlanta. We have some news from the Atlanta Dream. What's going on there, Deasia?
Yes, Miss Angel Reese is coming to the
Yay!
Dream.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I was very happy when I saw the news. It's interesting because maybe like a few days before, I saw Ryan Howard and what's her name? Alyssa. Ooh, don't give me Alicia Gray.
Alicia Gray.
Yeah, I saw them commenting under Angel Reese's like TikTok post. She had like a USA shirt on, and they were like, "I know some other three letters that will make sense under here." I was like, "Oh,
what could that be?"
So I think they probably already knew about it for a minute now. But I'm so happy about this. It just makes sense in every way. She was obviously traded from the Chicago Sky, which kind of thank God, honestly.
Truly.
I mean, I say that and I'm from Chicago.
I know, right? That was probably a good thing.
Yeah, because they just don't know what to do with these players. But I'm very excited. I mean, the Dream had a great season last year. I think they like won like a record number of wins last season. Made it to the first round of the playoffs, didn't make it past that, but they had a pretty good season last year. And I think with the addition of Angel Reese, that would, get better, I believe. I mean, Angel, it just makes so much sense. I mean, she also like has, I think I mentioned this before in the podcast, that she has her own podcast. She has so many brand deals. I think she's going to be in a Netflix series soon or something like that. And Atlanta is the place to continue all those things outside of basketball, too.
Right, for sure.
So,
which hopefully she won't have to do as much of since they're getting paid better, right?
Right.
But we'll see.
Right, exactly. Well, congrats to the dream. Congrats to Angel Reese. I'll definitely try to make a game if my funds and my coins allow it. So,
if everything's in order.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Same. I will see you there, Deasia.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to get into our main segment where Naja and I sat down with dancehall legend Spice.
Okay, today we've got global superstar and dancehall queen Spice. Recently, she's been transitioning into her soft girl era, which is also the name of one of her new singles, so make sure y'all check that out. She's a Grammy-nominated artist who's collaborated with Sean Paul and Shaggy, and you've also seen her on the reality TV series Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Thank you so much for joining us today, Spice.
Thank you for having me.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
Pretty good. I can't complain.
Awesome.
Happy that you're here with us.
Awesome.
Today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you've been moving into your soft girl era lately. Tell me what that means to you and what that looks like for you.
For me, transition into my soft girl era is more about loving up on myself. I feel like oftentimes we get caught up into just working and being so busy. But in that soft girl era, you're able to sit back and start pampering yourself. So that's really what that whole thing for me, transition into my soft girl era, just accepting my femininity a little bit more. Because sometimes, this world is so... sometimes you have to give some masculine energy and play tough out there in the streets. But sometimes it's okay as a woman to fall back and say, you know what? Let me just enjoy being a woman.
Yeah. Was there anything specific that prompted you to get into this new era?
It wasn't anything specific. It was just more of, I feel like I've fight all the fights already.
Yes.
I've done it all.
Yes.
I've been in the business for 25 years. That's not no small things. I always say that's a very big thing. So I just feel like, you know what? I'm tired of fighting. Let me just sit back and relax a little bit now and just enjoy me.
And how has this soft girl movement kind of been showing up in your music or changing the way you approach your music?
Well, first of all, I've never really done a song like this before. I think what I'm enjoying more of how it's showing up in my music is seeing all the TikTok trends and people transitioning from being their old self to this new version of persona that they're taking on and the glow up. And that just makes me smile. So I feel like I'm enjoying that whole aspect of it when it comes on to tying into seeing the different videos that's been made with the soft girl era song for me.
Mm-hmm. And I know you started this year off with the gospel song.
I
God
did.
Don't Play About Me.
God don't play about me.
Yes. He don't play about me either.
I know that's right.
Tell me what, inspired, this song and for you to tap into this, gospel, making gospel music.
So my fan base and my audience know even if you go on my Instagram now at Spice Official, first thing you're gonna see is Woman of God, because that I just believe that I put God first in everything that I do. So I'm always talking about God, always giving him thanks and all of that. That's very known when it comes on to me and my audience. In 2022, I almost died. I feel like I was given a second chance to life. And I did a gospel song before, and that song was called You Are Worthy. But this God Don't Play About Me is a sentence that I always say, even when I'm joking with my friends. So if they're about to lie to me or it's something, I'm going to be like, God don't play about me, so don't you dare. So I turned it into a song because in real life, I feel like he just don't play about me. The way he showed up for me, especially in that season when I almost died and I needed him the most, it was just a mind-blowing experience for me to know that the doctors said that I was going to die. And then for him to turn that around in front of them to say that it's not what man says, what God say, that just never left me. So I'm always giving God thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Take us back to that moment in 2022 when you had that health scare. Tell us exactly what happened.
I had a hernia scare. My body went into sepsis.
Which is
I
really
just started.
scary.
I started
Yeah.
throwing up, and I thought it was like a regular throwing up. The only thing I noticed that the taste of it was very bitter. I didn't know I was throwing up feces. I was rushed to the hospital, and I guess whatever test they did on me, they realized that my body was going through a sepsis, and they performed an emergency surgery on me. I still have the scar. They had to open me up from top down to save my life. And after that, I did 7 surgeries to be here. So at the time when they opened me up to save my life, they wasn't able to repair me properly because of the sepsis and everything that was going on. So I was just basically tacked up until I was better. And then I had to go back in and open it up again and do another surgeries. And I did 7 surgeries. So, yeah, God don't play about me.
Ooh, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
How are you feeling like today?
I'm feeling good. I'm healthy. I'm back to normal. Like, my health is great. The only thing I have is the scars to remind me that God don't play about me. So I'm just grateful, happy to be here.
Yeah.
Did that experience change how you're approaching your music now? I know the song God Don't Play About Me is inspired by that, but
Yeah.
outside of that, it has that like health scare kind of altered the way you approach your music in some way?
It has. I find myself doing more longevity stuff with my music, my entrepreneurship, like everything. Because like at the blink of an eye, even though we all know that we're all not here forever. When that happens, and you're like, wait, this is real. Like at the blink of an eye, you could just be gone. It kind of opened my eyes, not just for music, but for life in general.
And I'm kind of wondering, too, if that health scare kind of inspired this soft girl era, too, just to slow down and
I know, to
focus on
slow
your
down
health.
and love
Yeah.
up on myself too, because I started the year with my gospel song God Don't Play About Me, and immediately went into soft girl era.
Right.
So they kind of go hand in hand, to be honest, because it's like slow down and take a moment to live and love upon yourself a little bit more, because I'm always on the go.
Now you're, called the queen of dancehall. Is that something that you feel like you get your just credit for?
I mean, yes, and one of the things with even that title, it's not something that happened overnight. And I tell people all the time, being the queen of dancehall means that you're the head of the genre. You're the leading lady. You're dominating the whole genre. But that's not also a easy title to be able to carry. I've been in the business for 25 years, but what I like about my journey is that I've walked the walk. I've done it all. It's not something that was given to me. It was something that I earned. The queen that was there before me, she dominated the business so great. I left a big foot for me to fill in. So to come and know that the people gave me that title after all the work that she has done and the greatness that she has done, it was just an honor to know that, yeah, it's a title that I earned. And I'm happy that, I know something where overnight thing when me get up and I take on for myself, my work my way towards it, I humbled, waited, and earned my way to this title.
That's something I admire about your career, just your longevity. You've
Yeah.
been in it for 25 years, like you
25
said.
years, yes.
What can you remember about your first time touching a stage?
I talk about it all the time. The first time I went on stage, I went straight into clashing against some male artists. Bounty Killer was on that show. Power Man was on that show. A lot of other artists that was bigger than me in my time. And Bounty Killer, the general, the man for every season, the reason for the season. I was just so excited. I remember he was on stage telling people, yo, clear up the stage, da-da-da-da. And I walked on as a little girl, no name, just come from my community. I'm from somewhere in Old Britain in Jamaica. And he handed me the microphone and he was like, yo, who that little girl, yeah? And I said, my name's Spice. And Power Man started clash with me. Clash in Jamaica is a cultural thing where they battle. Lyrics for lyrics, they go back and forth. And he started clash with me. I was just a little girl, but I took him on and I was, dominating the place and I bust up the crowd. And Bounty Killer, I think he saw something in me that I did not know that I have at the time. I tell people all the time, he looked at me one time and tell me that you're going to be the next queen of the dancehall. And I was about maybe 14 or 15 at that time. So big up to Bounty Killer, the general, the reason for the season, the boss man, So that's really my first encounter on a stage show. Yeah, I walked right into a clash.
Yeah, I would have been intimidated.
I was always spicy. That's how I got the name. I was always witty with the mouth and stuff like that. That's how I got my
Did you give
name.
yourself that name or somebody else gave
I
that to you?
actually, I don't know if I would say I did, but the idea came from my community. I was with a group of girls, and the girls, whenever I'm not there, they always like, where's that little spicy one, the thirsty one? Because I'm the one that's always talking and dominating and stuff. So I think that's how I got the name, from them calling me that little spicy one.
What do you think's been the biggest challenge for you in being this queen of dancehall, like being the leader of this, whole genre of music?
For me, I feel like my biggest challenge has been trusting maybe a record label or maybe a team, because I'm independent. I do everything for myself. I'm not signed to a record label. I don't have a manager. I manage myself. And I think that came from me being signed to a record label for 10 years and them not doing what I thought they should have done for me. I was still working and doing everything by myself, which is why the album that got Grammy nominated was called 10. Because I was signed to a record label for 10 years. They weren't doing anything for me. I had to take matters in my own hand, started producing my own songs, just started going out there, promoting myself, managing myself, like doing everything for myself, which is how I got one of my biggest hit songs, which was So Me Like It. For me, I feel like I would have been bigger if I was signed to a label. But in my head, I'm like, it scares me to even want to go and sign into another because of what I went through. So I feel like that's one of my biggest setback or holdback, because now I don't want to sign to nobody because of what happened. So I just do everything myself.
Yeah, because 10, is that billed as like your debut album?
That was also my first album, and people didn't know that.
I was surprised to hear that, because I'm like, I know she's been around for so long, but for this to be her first.
That's why. So a lot of people, and I also pat myself on the shoulder, because a lot of people did not even realize I didn't have an album. So when 10 came out and I was like, this is my first album, they're like, wait, she's been out for 15 years.
Right.
Because I was signed to this label. So I got a big up to Shaggy, who I refer to as my hero, because Shaggy was the one who, and it started in DM. I was like, listen, Shaggy, you got to help me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's how the relationship started?
That's how it started.
Okay.
We knew each other. Of course, he knew about me over the years, but I reached out to him and I was like, I need to do a song. And he had a studio in New York at the time. And he was like, come up to the Ranch, because that's the name of his record label. And he was like, come up to Ranch, let's work. And, when we started working, I think he fell in love with the way how I work, because I'm very quick on my lyrics, easy to record. I'm very, professional when it comes on to doing my music. I take my career seriously. And he was just impressed, and he was like, I don't understand. Like, you're so good on stage, in the studio, all around. You're like the biggest female artist from Jamaica. Why you don't have an album? So when I explained the situation, he was like, no, man, we have to fix this, man. And I was like, well, it was so easy. The man is able to make a call and fix it. I've been trying for 10 years.
Yeah, because, it's been a journey for you.
It's been a journey.
Because a lot of people know that the music industry is a difficult one, and they go and do something else when they realize they don't have the support they need.
Yes.
So,
and I've been there, so I know.
What made you keep going?
I think my love for the music and my fans, I don't ever want to let them down. I have some die-hearted besties. I call them my besties. I share everything with them. I talk to them in the DMs. I'm on them like we're real friends, because we've grown together for 25 years. I think that inspires me, but also my past and where I'm coming from. Because I came from humble beginnings. My slogan is from homeless to greatness, because I was once homeless. So knowing that I don't want to go back to where I'm coming from, that also inspires me to always keep going.
Were there moments where you just wanted to, give up and do something else, or?
I don't know if I want to say at moments I wanted to give up, but sometimes the business itself will make you get weary, because there's so much politics within the music. I remember there was a time when a certain entity was trying to fight everything I was doing and trying to create this energy as if I was who I know I'm not. Stuff like that would make me feel like, you know what? But then again, when I remember my past and my fans and my besties, I don't want to let them down. I keep going.
Now, I know you've been on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for a few seasons now.
Yes.
What made you want to join that show?
Initially, when I started, they came to Jamaica on a trip, and Mona Scott Young and a friend of mine from Jamaica, called a friend of mine from Jamaica called and said, hey, Mona Scott is coming to Jamaica with Love and Hip Hop. They wanted you to host the cast around Montego Bay. I had a performance on the pier. And they were there, and I started to enjoy the moment of being around them and the whole reality TV. And of course, at the time in Jamaica, everyone's dream is to branch out and to get bigger, get internationally known and whatever. And I was like, this would be a way for me to introduce my face to my music. That's really how I got onto Love and Hip Hop. It was Mona Scott reaching out to my friend from Jamaica for me to host them, I think, in Jamaica. And then I met the cast there for the first time. And they didn't even know, none of the cast knew that I was going to try to go on to the other season. It was a surprise on the other season. So, yeah, that's really what it was for me. It was just getting my name out there.
So the show brought you to Atlanta.
The show brought me to Atlanta.
How long have you lived
The
here?
show brought me to Atlanta. When I came here first, I lied to them. I hope they don't see this interview because they were like, if you're going to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you have to live here because we
Right.
film and da-da-da-da. I said, I just moved here.
It was clearly convincing enough. He was like, I'm over
hopefully
here
they
in the
don't see
Buckhead
the interview.
neighborhood.
Right.
Yes. They was like, really? I said, I just moved there.
So how long have you lived in Atlanta now?
Maybe, well, to be honest.
Wait a second.
Oh, wait a minute. To be honest, I lived here in maybe 2021 or 2020. So before, and that's a good question. When I started filming like my first 2 seasons, I never lived here. Because remember, I said I lied to them.
Right.
So I used to still live in Jamaica. I never used to make money from the show because my tickets was $1,000 per week. And I used to go back home every week. So I would come here, film, and head back to Jamaica every single week or head out to do a show or a performance. I never lived here. And that's when I decided to move here, which I still also live in Jamaica. So I go back and forth. I travel here. I feel like Love and Hip Hop is the reason why I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I still live in Jamaica.
Do you like staying in Atlanta when you are here? Or?
I do,
Okay.
actually. I do. I do. I don't have a lot of friends here, but I do like it here. The weather is not bad. It's similar, it's not too cold and yeah, it's manageable. Only now with the allergy season, I'm like, I'm out of here.
Right.
But I do love Atlanta a lot.
Yeah, because there are a lot of
I do.
Black immigrant population.
Oh, for
here.
sure. A lot of Jamaicans are here too. We can't talk to the ice and stuff, but yeah, we have a lot of Jamaicans here.
What do you love most about Atlanta?
What do I love? I love the support. I feel like Atlanta is would it be bad if I say like a mini Hollywood? I don't know. I feel like Atlanta
say.
They say that? Okay, yeah.
The
For me, I feel like
South.
that.
Yeah.
It's really like a mini Hollywood. I like the fact that they do support a lot of Black businesses. So a lot of Black women here have their businesses and they're being supported. So I can go support Rashida. I can go and I can support Yandy. I can go and support Carly. And all of us are supporting each other. And they are also getting support from other people. I like that about the population a lot. Yeah, I have Grassy Noir, which is my store, my boutique. I'm an entrepreneur myself, do get a lot of support. So whenever you're in Riverdale and you want some nice fits, you know where to come.
Yes.
So come and see me at
Yes.
Grassy Noir. So
Yes.
I like that about Atlanta.
Yeah. And I know the show is currently airing its, I think, 13th season right now, or the second half of it.
Yes.
Tell me how the show has, helped, your career so far.
I don't want to call it wrong, but I have a MTV Movie Awards. I think I'm one of the only person from Jamaica with that award. So shout out to Love and Hip Hop for that accolade. So I feel like it has helped to catapult my career internationally. A lot of people, when I got on the show, some people didn't even know who Spice was. So it did introduce me to a new audience. I would say that for sure. It was like a lot of mixed reaction when I got in there because like some of my fans was like, wow, you on Love and Hip Hop, da-da-da-da.
Right,
and
right.
you don't need this and da-da-da-da. But then there were still people who didn't know my face or didn't know the Spice brand. So while they were introducing me to new audience, the audience who already know me, because let's be clear, I went on to Love and Hip Hop already known.
Right.
But people don't know that it's always different rooms to grow into and different spaces and places. So staffing wise and the people, the production, they're like family. So I'm very comfortable.
Okay, y'all, it's time to take a break, but we'll be right back. there have been all these different touch points. I love what you said. Like, people are introduced to me in a variety of different ways,
Yeah.
whether you knew me in the early 2000s or you know me for my collaborations or you know me for being on Love and Hip Hop. What do you feel like the key is to your success and to your longevity?
The key to my success and my longevity is definitely me being myself. I feel like oftentimes, because even on reality TV, not a lot of times some of the cast them not even really at themselves on camera.
Yes.
They put on the show
Yes.
that pisses me off.
Yeah, the
And then
cameras
I'm
do
the one
something.
looking like, oh, what's wrong with Spice? Because girl, that's not how you act off camera. But my longevity comes from me being authentic. I'm true to myself no matter where I go. So, for example, even if I go on Love and Hip Hop and I get into an argument or a fight, my fans are not going to be like, oh my God, I lose off a Spice or what is this? Because them know that me no care, me no business at all. Once you come for me, I come for you. And we are going 0 to 100 real quick. I don't care. So I feel like just being true to who I am, that also has helped me. It has never been a point where people saw anything and just feel like that wasn't me, because I'm always me. I'm always just being myself. And I'm a type of person too, I give back to my fans. When it comes on to show, before I was named Queen of the Dancehall, I was called Queen of Stage. Because when it comes to stage performances, I'm going to give my full 100. So they give me that title hands down. Like, I'm the best female performer from Jamaica. And I can say that proudly because of how hard I go on stage for my fans. So I feel like all of that tie in with me always just going hard for them, no matter what festival or which big name is on that festival. Once Spice is there, people want to see what Spice is coming with, because I'm coming with something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just let you come up and not, feel good to know that you've been supporting me as an artist. I'm going to show out. I'm always reinventing myself, always coming with something different, just always keeping them on their toes, on the edges. So always being different and standing out. I never follow nobody. Me always just stay who me is. Always I get them the raw Jamaican authentic dancehall something when we're ready. So, I just stay true to myself. I feel like that has kept me in the business.
Yeah.
Now I want to go
Now
see a
try
show.
it. Right.
Go see a show of yours
Yeah,
now.
girl, I would climb up on
When is
speaker
your
box
next
and
show?
boom, flick off of the speaker box and jump and jump on. I have a song called Sheet, and I'm rolling out the sheet on the floor, and the man them are going crazy. Like, I do it all.
I need you to teach me the leg thing you do. You do that leg
I
and
stand
then
up and
it's in
put one
the
foot in the air.
sky.
Yes, that's how me like it.
I don't have the flexibility
Yeah,
for
me neither.
that.
Me
You can
neither.
practice. You can get
But
there.
I need to watch your next show or
Yeah,
come
for
see
sure.
you. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Going off of that, given that you are the queen of dance hall, now I know Afro beats and like Latin music and even like K-pop has like taken off and have their own mainstream moment. And I feel like dance hall and like reggae and soca hasn't quite had that same level of like mainstream attention. Why do you think that is? Because I've always been curious about that. Because even with the Grammys, they have their own like Afro pop or Afro music award and such. But it seems like with like the reggae and soca and dance hall genres, there aren't as like mainstream.
For me as the queen of dancehall, one of the things that hurts the most is the fact that I feel like dancehall is underrated. It's also unfair that it's underrated because so much people take from dancehall, so much
Yeah.
people take from the culture. Like for me, hearing you say, oh, Afrobeats is bigger mainstream and stuff, I'm sure that Afrobeats has taken from dancehall. Hip hop came from dancehall. People don't like to hear when I said it, but I didn't create it. It's out there. The proof is in the pudding. Hip hop came from dancehall. So, it was Kool Herc who went to New York, and that's how hip hop was birthed. So people don't like to say it, but I just feel like they don't give the culture
Yeah.
the respect that it deserves. And that's just what it is. I see girls here who dress like the dancehall culture and then they title it something else. But it's just that dancehall it don't get the respect that it truly deserves. Dancehall has birthed so many other genres. Reggaeton, like me,
Yes,
we
I
talk
was gonna
about
say
it.
that.
Me not
Yeah.
free for talk. Them can't come for me when they're ready, Yeah. It has birthed so many other genres and influenced so many other genres and culture. But again, also what I would say, because sometimes you can't point your finger forward and not have one of them point backwards. So to go into the dancehall Jamaican culture, I feel like our unity, we're so divided sometimes. I think if we come together, like the dancehall, like there's so much talent and rich culture from Jamaica. I feel like if we come together, probably we would have been bigger or stronger. And I can give an example to, one of my recent hit, which is Go Down There. That is one of the most streamed song from Jamaica. Like I'm the first hardcore female dancehall artist will have 300 million streams upon a song. But imagine if we were collabing and coming together within the culture. Because who would have thought that Spice would have brought a Shaggy and a Sean Paul together? That was the first time we were collabing on a song. And look at the magic that it has done. Sometimes we try to go outside of Jamaica to get, I guess, all these other names and not believing in our own rich culture. I think if we were joining forces, we would have been bigger. That's what I feel. But the hate and the fight will come from within the culture. It's just too much. That's one thing I would say. If dancehall could have unite and come together, I think we would have been bigger and we would have reached further.
Yeah. Thank you for answering that, because I was like, I don't know
if you should ask, right?
But I mean,
that's
it is true
I thought about
though.
it, because I'm like, that's so true, but it's so unfair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I
it's
wanted
true.
to get more, popularity, but it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it has yet.
Yeah, and a lot of people that fight, what if I fight that it too, because it's like, I'll leave it for next time.
Yeah, no, we can go on and on and on about this for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Has being in Atlanta influenced your music at all?
Yes. And especially soft girl era. I would say that. One of the things that I notice is that, and even though it's creating a little, I wouldn't say controversy, but mixed reviews, I think I reach a space where being here in Atlanta, like, for example, me doing this interview, you notice I'm trying to speak so that you guys can understand, speak in a clearer English or whatever, the audience out there so they can understand me. But naturally, if me did the Jamaica, I would have some talk, would have talk like a Jamaican or talking in a raw dialect Jamaican. But if me start to that, people may say, what should I talk about? Me them not understand what I say. So in my song and my lyrics, what I've noticed here in Atlanta, when I do have the few friends, they would be like, what is that you said? Or what does that mean? So I realized in the raw Jamaican dialect, they don't really understand what I'm saying. They might like the beat. I remember talking to Charlemagne one time when I was doing an interview, and he was like, I like the sound of it, but I don't understand what y'all saying. So being in Atlanta, hearing from the spaces here, I realized that people don't really understand the raw dialect, the Jamaican patois. So I start to slow down a little bit more on my songs and make it a little bit, I wouldn't say ABC, but easier to understand and a little more English in my delivery. So I'm not so much, back in the days, I used to do a whole heap of lyrics. I'm known for the lyrics. Sometimes them act like them forget, but make them go and let them forget until one of them trouble me and then my mad head chip off. But I am known to being lyrical. But now I realize that being lyrical is not always it. People want to be able to sing along with you. They want to sing the song. And if they don't understand it, then they're not able to sing it, So I start to slow down a little bit on like my delivery of my songs because of being here in Atlanta, realizing that people don't really understand what I say.
How has that been for you? I wonder if that takes away from the rawness and the realness of it.
And that's why you can't do too much. So you got to choose what you want. So for me, I like to remain authentic and true to myself. So I can't please everybody.
Right.
So that's why I got to, because if I start going to English, then I'm going to lose. I'm going to water down who I really am. And I don't ever want to do that. So that's why I just got to, I might do a little 1 and 2 words so you catch on. But then after that, girl, you're on your own. If you don't
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, are you gearing to release an album or project soon, or anything
kind
you
of
can
tight
share?
lips about what I'm working on
What
because
can
it's
you
not
share?
fully ready yet.
Okay.
But I'm dropping something soon for the summer, so I can share that. I'm definitely dropping something for the summer, and with that drop, I'm gonna be celebrating something, something major that I've accomplished that I kind of overlooked, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, I just went platinum. And I just acted like it was nothing. And that was something I was working on for years. So that's just one thing that I can say. I'm coming with my summer song and, it's going to be nice and fun. Yeah.
Summertime feels like the perfect moment for something fun.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you for having me. Thank you. And don't forget to follow me. Spice Official is the name. Keep updated with the black blue hair girl, Queen of Dancehall, every time.
And I was curious about your signature look. The signature blue hair is a thing. Why?
Why? Well, it's my favorite color. It's also my school color. So in Jamaica, you know, when you go to school, you have to choose a certain color house. And that means like for sports day, you rep a certain color. I'm always the leader for Blue House. And when I went to St. Catherine High School, because I'm a past student of St. Catherine High, big up St. Catherine, I had blue crest. That's how they represent you. So you'd have blue crest, purple crest, red crest, but I was blue crest. Took that color with me. And then immediately when I left high school in 1999, I went into music. And in dancehall, the culture, you're known to wear like a bright color here and the wigs and all of that. So obviously, I just went with my color, which was blue, and it just never left. And I feel like I built that brand from ground up to now. So every time somebody sees somebody in a blue hair, them says, "That Spice?"
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ever leave my brand because I built it from, 25 years.
And you said blue crest?
Crest. So it's like something that you stitch on your uniform.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Spice, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
and being
you
here.
again for having me. And big up the whole of Atlanta and big up to the entire team here. And, all the people, all the fans, all my besties. I love you guys so much. Thank you for continuing to support me. 25 years is a long time. I appreciate all of you a lot.
All right, before we let y'all go, it's time for Rent Free, where we talk about a story taking up real estate in our minds. And, these teen takeovers, child, is really running through my mind.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Have you seen the footage of these takeovers?
I remember seeing it like when there was like that New Year's Eve or holiday event that happened at Atlantic Station.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I've seen a few here and there, but that's the main one where I saw like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was the Atlanta Beltline. It's been Battery Park, Atlantic Station. I mean, name a place.
Right.
And they're happening. So basically what they are, of course, is when teens get on social media, apps like TikTok, Discord, Instagram, and they decide that they're going to meet up in a public space, and then everyone kind of captures it on their phone with, the purpose being, of course, to, I guess, be part of something, but also to have evidence that you were part of something, and then they post it on social media and they go viral most of the time. So the chaos that ensues is very meaningful in the world of social media, but for everyone else, it's just kind of disruptive behavior that they've been trying to address. So the police have been increasing their presence in these spaces where they're happening. They've introduced curfews. The venues have introduced curfews for teenagers. And recently, the police have said they're going to start, charging parents who allow their children to be out and wreak havoc in the streets at these takeovers. So
this is just, it's just interesting. I'm like, man, are there no, third spaces for teens anymore?
yeah, I mean, I think, the mayor has said he is going to start investing, I guess is the right word, into more third spaces for kids, for youth. But, to me, part of me feels like it's more than that at this point. It's not just about having a space to go. It's also the component of, the part that you're filming and recording and putting on social media for a reason, for this viral content. Or even being able to organize, like we were talking, back in the day, you might go to a spot with your friends, but you weren't,
Yeah.
You didn't have the capacity to organize hundreds of people, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around. I guess we are in a social media age, but after the likes and the comments and the virality of it all, then what's next?
Right. What's left? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, also, you don't want teens who are showing up with weapons. Like, that's not probably the best thing. Like, if you were showing up just to hang out, then, I guess a fight might break out of something. Like, that's kind of what would happen back in the day when I was doing this stuff. Somebody would get into a fight.
Yeah.
But no one was getting shot. Shots were not being fired
Right.
at the teen takeovers,
Right now it's kind of different.
Yeah.
Or there is like a threat of violence in some
Right.
way. Because at the Atlanta Station one from the holidays, I people thought it was a shooting at
Right,
first.
right.
You know, people were running and really scared.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, was this the end goal? Or like, I don't know.
Yeah. I can't imagine my daughter telling me I'm going to go meet up with friends at Atlantic Station and me thinking she's meeting up with a couple of friends and it being hundreds of people out there and they're running around
Right.
doing God knows what.
Right.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. What does she think about these takeovers?
I think for them, like when when she told me she had seen it, I was surprised because she doesn't have social media.
Okay.
But she was looking at someone else's. And when she told me she had seen it, it was kind of entertaining. Like they look at it as entertainment in a way, so they're watching whatever is going down. And I think it's entertainment for.
And it's happening all over now,
Yes.
like in DC, Chicago. I saw someone post a video from Chicago saying like, "Oh, we don't have the juke joints no more, the juke parties or whatever
on the
no
street.
more." Yeah, but we used to have that back in the day. I didn't go, but I heard.
I heard about it.
People used to like have these dance parties,
Yes.
juking and stuff. That was something that we like to do as teens. There were even like teen
clubs. I was going to
too.
say that. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't
they
go
had
to
those
that
back in
either.
my. I didn't either. I
was
didn't
such
go.
a square.
I definitely didn't go to those, but they had teen parties at,
Yeah.
sometimes they were at clubs that were adult clubs and sometimes they were just on their own. They were only a teen club, but,
Yeah.
and yeah, I guess I don't know that there would be anything like that in Atlanta now.
I don't even know what's the solution, I guess. I mean, I
I don't either.
don't know.
Well, we'll see if the measures that the authorities are taking actually work.
Yeah, because now it's like every time like the kids are on break or something, I get a little nervous. I'm like, oh, should I go to this?
Right, like you don't want to go to the mall.
Because right now it's like spring break, and I'm like, ooh, is something else about to happen, or I should avoid this area maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I definitely, I pay attention, and I had not done this in the past, but I look up now. If my daughter does tell me she wants to go somewhere with her friends, I actually look up to see if there's a curfew. Which is something that I never, I wouldn't have
Wow.
even thought to do that before. But I'll look it up because I'm like, okay, are they trying to, they'll be like, oh, we're going to go see a movie, blah, blah, blah. And I have to be like, well, if you're going between 4 and 6, you need to be out,
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
something that's changed my behavior because I probably wouldn't have done that in the past.
I guess we'll see. I'm sure there'll be another one by the time we record.
Right. By the
next,
time this comes out,
Right.
Somewhere
But,
else will have been taken over.
Right. Cool. So that's all the time we have for today. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to It's UATL. UATL is a source for Black culture and community in Atlanta, powered by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and its supporters. The show is hosted by Nedra Roan, Deasia Page, and me, Naja Parker.
If you liked the episode, be sure to follow us and leave us a rating and review. It really helps. It's UATL wouldn't be possible without our lead producer, Isabel Kirby McGowan, and producer Kara Schillen. Extra support from Ron Williams. Our executive producer is Gavin Godfrey. Megan Nadolski is our senior producer, and Samantha Stamler is the head of audio.
Special thanks to Janelle Davis, the managing editor of UATL for the AJC. Want more UATL? Be sure to join the community at uatl.com. See you next week.